Welcome back to Zito TechVerse. In this video, we're covering the top 70 must-ask JavaScript interview questions. We'll start with core concepts and types, move through functions, scope, and closures, then explore objects and prototypes, and finish with async JavaScript and modern ES6 features. Let's begin. Here's our roadmap. We start with core JS and types, then move into functions, scope, and closures. Next, we'll tackle objects, prototypes, and the this keyword. And finally, we'll cover async, the event loop, and modern ES6 features. 70 essential questions in total. Section 1. Core JavaScript and types. Question 1. What are the data types in JavaScript? There are 7 primitives: string, number, boolean, null, undefined, symbol, and big int. Everything else is an object, including arrays and functions. Primitives are compared by value, while objects are compared by reference. Question 2. What is the difference between null and undefined? Undefined means a variable is declared, but not assigned. Null represents the intentional absence of a value. Interestingly, type of undefined is undefined, but type of null is object. Question 3. What is the difference between double equals and triple equals? Double equals performs loose equality with type coercion, while triple equals performs strict equality without coercion. We prefer triple equals to avoid unexpected bugs. Question 4. What is the difference between var, let, and const? Var is function scoped and hoisted. Let and const are block scoped. Const prevents reassignment of the variable binding, though objects assigned to const can still have their properties mutated. Question 5. What is type coercion? It's the automatic conversion of values between types during operations. Implicit coercion happens with operators like double equals or the plus sign. Explicit coercion happens when you manually call functions like number or string. Question 6. What are truthy and falsy values? Falsy values include false, 0, empty strings, null, undefined, and nan. Everything else is truthy. Note that empty arrays and empty objects are always truthy. Question 7. What is hoisting? Hoisting is the process where declarations are moved to the top of their scope during compilation. Var declarations are initialized as undefined. Let and const are hoisted but remain in the temporal dead zone until initialized. Question 8. What is the difference between primitive and reference types? Primitives are copied by value, so variables are independent. Objects are copied by reference, meaning variables share the same memory location, so mutations affect all references. Question 9. What is the difference between a shallow copy and a deep copy? A shallow copy duplicates the top level, but nested objects remain shared references. A deep copy creates a fully independent clone of the entire object structure. Question 10. What is nan and how do you check for it? Nan stands for not a number. Even though it's technically a number type, it never equals itself. Use number.isnan to detect it reliably. Question 11. What is the difference between slice, splice, and split? Slice is a non-mutating method that returns a copy of a portion of an array. Splice mutates the original array by adding or removing elements. Split is a string method that creates an array. Question 12. What are template literals? They are strings created with backticks that allow for interpolation of expressions using the $sign curly brace syntax. They also support multi-line strings natively. Question 13. What is a symbol and where is it used? A symbol is a unique, immutable primitive value often used as non-colliding object property keys. Because every symbol is unique, they prevent property name clashes. Well-known symbols like symbol.iterator also allow you to customize built-in language behaviors. Question 14. What is the difference between function declaration and function expression? Declarations are named and fully hoisted, so they are callable before definition. Expressions assign a function to a variable, meaning they are not hoisted as callable functions. Calling them before assignment leads to an error. Question 15. What are the different ways to loop in JavaScript? Beyond classic for, while, and do while loops, we have for of, for iterating values of iterables, and for in for iterating enumerable object keys. Additionally, functional array methods like for each, map, filter, and reduce provide declarative ways to process data. Question 16. What is the difference between map, filter, and reduce? These are non-mutating array methods. Map transforms each element into a new array. Filter returns a subset of elements that pass a test. Reduce folds the entire array into a single accumulated value. All of these are chainable. Question 17. What is the spread and rest operator? Both use the 3-dot syntax. Spread expands an iterable into individual elements, such as in array literals. Rest collects remaining items into an array, commonly used in function parameters and destructuring. They are fundamental tools for managing dynamic data. Question 18. What is destructuring? It is a clean syntax to unpack values from arrays or properties from objects directly into distinct variables. It supports default values, renaming, and nesting, making it much more readable than manual property access. Section 2. Functions, Scope, and Closures. Question 19. What is a closure? A closure is a function bundled together with its lexical environment. This allows an inner function to remember and access variables from its outer scope, even after the outer function has finished executing. It is essential for data privacy and stateful functions. Question 20. What is the difference between function scope and block scope? var is function scoped, meaning it is visible throughout the function. Conversely, let and const are block scoped, confined to the curly braces where they are defined, which helps prevent variable leakage and common bugs. Question 21. What is the difference between call, apply, and bind? All three explicitly set the "this" context. Call invokes the function immediately, with arguments passed individually. Apply also invokes immediately, but takes an array of arguments. Bind returns a new function with a fixed "this" context for later use. Question 22. What is the difference between arrow functions and regular functions? Arrow functions do not have their own "this", they inherit it from the surrounding code. They lack their own arguments object and cannot be used as constructors. Regular functions have their own "this" and prototype. Question 23. What is currying? Currying is transforming a function with multiple arguments into a chain of unary functions, where each function takes a single argument. It relies on closures and enables partial application, which is a powerful technique for code reuse. Question 24. What is an IIFE? An immediately invoked function expression is a function defined and executed right away. It creates a private scope, preventing variables from polluting the global namespace. It was the standard way to handle encapsulation before modern modules were introduced. Question 25. What is debouncing and throttling? Both limit how often a function runs. Debouncing runs the function only after activity has stopped for a set period. Throttling ensures the function runs at most once per defined time interval. They are critical for optimizing events like scrolling or input. Question 26. What is a higher order function? It is a function that either takes another function as an argument or returns one. This is a core concept in JavaScript that enables abstraction, composition, and functional programming patterns like map, filter, and reduce. Question 27. What is the difference between parameters and arguments? Parameters are the named placeholders defined in a function's signature. Arguments are the actual values passed to the function when it is invoked. Think of parameters as the labels on a form, and arguments as the information you write into those slots. Question 28. What is memoization? It is an optimization technique where you cache the results of expensive function calls. When the function is called again with the same arguments, the program returns the cached result instead of recomputing it. This trades memory usage for increased performance in pure functions. Section 3. Objects, prototypes, and the "this" keyword. Question 29. What is prototypal inheritance? It is the model where objects inherit properties and methods directly from other objects. Every object has a link, known as a prototype, to another object. If a property isn't found on the target, the engine walks up the prototype chain until it finds it or hits null. Question 30. How does the "this" keyword work? Its value depends on how the function is called. In a method call, it refers to the object before the dot. In a standalone call, it points to the global object, or is undefined in strict mode. New instances set it to the newly created object, and arrow functions lexically inherit it. Question 31. What is the difference between object.freeze and object.seal? Both restrict modifications. Seal prevents adding or deleting properties but allows modifying existing ones. Freeze is stricter. It also prevents any changes to existing property values. Both are shallow, meaning nested objects remain mutable. Question 32. What are the ways to create objects in JavaScript? You can use object literals, constructor functions with the new keyword, ES6 classes, or object.create to explicitly set a prototype. Factory functions that return an object are also a common and effective pattern. Question 33. What is the difference between __proto___ and prototype? Prototype is a property on constructor functions used to build the prototype chain for new instances. _proto is the actual link on an object that points to its prototype. It is better practice to use object.getPrototypeOf. Question 34. What is the difference between object.keys, values, and entries? Keys returns the object's property names, values returns the property values, and entries provides both as an array of pairs. These methods are essential for converting objects into iterable formats like arrays. Question 35. What is optional chaining and nullish coalescing? Optional chaining uses the !dot syntax to access nested properties safely, without crashing on null or undefined. Nullish coalescing, or double question mark, provides a fallback value only if the left operand is nullish, distinct from other falsy values. Question 36. What are getters and setters? They are accessor properties that allow you to use function logic when reading or assigning a property. While the caller uses standard .syntax, the get or set function intercepts the operation, enabling validation, computation, or transformation of the data. Question 37. What is the difference between map and object? Maps support any data type as a key and track insertion order. Objects are limited to strings or symbols as keys. Maps are generally more performant for frequently adding or removing pairs. Question 38. What is a proxy in JavaScript? It is a wrapper for an object that lets you intercept operations, like property access or assignment. By using traps, you can customize the behavior of these operations, which is the foundational concept for building reactive systems in modern frameworks. Section 4. Async, Event Loop, and ES6 Features. Question 39. What is the event loop? It is the mechanism that allows single-threaded JavaScript to perform asynchronous tasks. It monitors the call stack and queues, executing microtasks, like resolved promises, before macro tasks like timers. This ensures the UI stays responsive while handling background operations.